Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Noisy Neighbours podcast. Friday night, the night after United get to a European final. How are we, Christian? I know you're fresh off the plane yourself. How are you doing, mate?
I'm not too bad, mate. Yeah, we just done De Bruyne, so we'll get into this. Obviously, I mean, it's looked up after the season we've both had. The fact that we can talk up to finals, it's an absolute miracle.
So, look, I mean, I've been just looking back at the season, really, a little bit on reflection from yesterday, and just that obviously we're 15th in the league. Are we 15th? I've stopped looking, to be honest. I think we're 15th, Spurs are 16th, and
some European final.
Just, I think so. I've a very good friend of mine is a Tottenham fan, and he sent me. Oh, he commented on the stream last night. Actually, he said it's the first time a European final has ever been contested by both teams lower than 12th. Ever in history, apparently. Which makes sense. I mean, look, until recently, the Conference League didn't exist, and you would have thought that would give it a chance. This is the old UEFA Cup. This is a good competition.
I'd like to see. Yeah, it's an interesting stat that I'd like to see who would be involved in that. I mean, I know did Fulham have one once upon a time.
The key thing on the stat is both teams, because Sevilla won it when they were 13th a few seasons. I mean, Christ, they won it every year for a bit, didn't they?
Yeah, they made it happen.
And then Villarreal beat fucking United in the COVID one, where De Gea let 11 pens in and then missed his own. That was good. They were 8th, we were 2nd, so that was great. So what? I mean, look. I mean, how have we done this? How are we in this Europa League final, Christian? I mean, what is going on? Is this team shit or good? Will he make the mind up?
I know. I sent you that video of the Wolf of Wall Street meme, and it's Man United in the Europa League, and they're all like on the boat, like doing the partying, and then next clip is Man United in the fucking Europa. Dude, it's mad. It's what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
It's mad. I don't really understand how it's got to this.
No.
But you're here, and it's somehow you looked on the brink of death a few times. I mean, that Lyon game, we did the watch along, and I thought he was down and out.
What do you think? Look, I remember asking you this question in it probably a few months ago about United, probably when they was in the FA Cup or whatever. I can't remember. And I was obviously you lost to United. You won one, lost one in the FA Cup. Yeah. Both very close, both 2-1. And it's like, obviously, we were not great last year. We were 8th, obviously a bit better than this. And I was asking you, being the champions, what was it like approaching United in the cup final? Because we have this sort of United sort of history, and it does feed into these shitters. What is it like? Can you sort of explain it a little bit, what it's like playing a shit United team in a final? And why do we have this feeling?
I think maybe I'm a bad person to ask for it, only because you'd be better asking someone who isn't related to like a derby in the situation. Because as bad as you've been, if post Fergie, I've always been nervous on Derby Day, because no matter how much better we are, I'm always thinking, oh shit. I remember when we beat you 6-3, you got like one back, and I was like, oh my god, they could. You know what I mean? It's mad. It always plays on you in derby. So maybe I'm not the best person, but I suppose I could try and answer. I do agree you have this weird thing about you that your shite team, somehow, you still had a consistent trophy haul. You look at the likes of Arsenal, they've gone 5 years without a trophy, man, and they spent a lot of money, and the consensus is that he's taking them in the right trajectory. Yeah, but at the end of the day, United have won what? If you get this over the line, what's that, 3 trophies in 3 years,
3
is
years,
it?
So
it begs questions, you know what I'm saying? And
what's this 4th final in 4 years?
Yeah, and the only thing I would say, I don't think for Tottenham, that whole aura around United is the biggest issue in this final for them. I think they will be so much more concerned about their own aura, or lack of, going into a final, because everyone knows Spursy, the phrases, you know what I mean? We all think they're going to do a Spurs. So it's a weird one. I really don't think they'll be focusing on United or whatever you're doing. I think they're going to feel the pressure, and I think this could be a big factor in who wins, because you ultimately probably won't feel as much pressure. Let's be honest, if you don't win it, everyone's going to go with the shit anyway. What they're doing in the Prem.
I mean, they're obviously, look, we will preview the game in future. Like I said, I've got a friend who's a Spurs fan. He's going to do an episode with us as well, which would be fantastic to get him on and obviously ask him about Ange and ask him about the game. I had a little chat with him tonight. He's a neighbour, so he's obviously already worked up about it anxiety-wise.
I like Ange as well. I love his personality.
I like Ange,
you know, look, it would be funny to obviously watch United in a cup final and someone beat them. It will always be jokes, as it would be for you. Point. But I do genuinely like Ange. And he came out and made that bold statement, to be fair, when things were really bad. Yeah. He said, I always win in the second season, mate. And he's got to a European final. And to be fair, if he gets this over the line, it's a fucking major. It's going to be the biggest for Spurs, man. It's going to be the biggest big dick comment ever. He said that at the beginning of a tough season, and he's the manager of Tottenham. Oh no. And things were bad when he said it. He's going to, is he going to be doing that to the Tottenham fans or to your fans? No, fucking Mason Mount was doing that last night to us. Will they both just fucking swivel? Oh God, what's he doing? Yeah, man. I mean, look, it's crazy. I can't really work it out. And the thing is as well. Okay, the Leon thing went to shit for about 45 minutes. Yeah. However, the other two games were comfortable. We've just gone through 7-1 against Bilbao. Yeah. On aggregate, okay, Leon was. I think Dicey doesn't really cover it. We were technically out. How we fucking scrambled that round, I don't know. Sociedad 5-1 on aggregate. I've got something for you, Christian. We were talking about the goals, me and Patrick, and United have scored. We've scored 19 goals in the 3 knockout ties. Right, so 2 legs, 6 games against Sociedad, Leon, and Bilbao. United have scored 19 goals in the knockouts. They scored 16 goals in the group. Manchester United have scored 35 goals in the Europa League this season. You think, it's fucking pretty good going, that. I'm pretty impressed with that. Yeah. Do you want to know how many goals we scored in the Prem in 35 games? Go on. 42. Man United have scored 42 goals in the Premiership in 35 games. We have scored 35 goals in 14 Europa League games. Yeah, Alex, look, I don't know. It leads into how bad the league has been, and almost it's not. This is not helping Amorim, really. Yes, of course, if he wins the Europa, it does help him short term, and he will get the summer to do what he wants. But it's not going to help him next year if this league shit continues for much longer. No. If you keep, I tell you what, mate, if you start next year and you're leaking in 340, your Fulhams, your Brentfords, your Evertons, he ain't going to last very long. I won't give him till December if that shit carries on. No. So he's got to make sure he can get some of this Europa form and put it into the Premier League. Christian, I'd love to be beating teams 4-1 like we do in the Europa. Alex, it's not just about beating, though. It's the performance. The performances they show a much higher level in that competition than they do show in the Prem. And also, there's this acceptance. So, I mean, I know I've read a few things online. I don't know your opinion on this. I'd be interested to hear it. Oh, they've down tools in the Prem. I've never heard this one. I've heard down tools for a manager. I've never just heard, we're not doing anything for the rest of the season. We're just down tools. No, that's not a thing. I'm not having that. No, that is not. That can't catch on. Well, what about them teams who just do nothing in mid-table and they're safe at Christmas? What, we're just not trying for the rest of the year? Yeah. I think that, look, obviously he's rotated more than he would have done if we were out. If Sociedad knocked us out, we wouldn't be having Chido Obi, Harry Amas, Tyler Fredrickson starting league games, clearly. Yeah. So there's an element of that. However, yes, look, we could be losing to these teams anyway. I'm not saying the rotation is why we've been losing. What I don't understand with United, I said this to Patrick, right? When we score 3 in the Prem, we concede 3 or 4, right? Yeah. If we only let 1 in, we either don't score or only get 1 and get a draw. So Bournemouth, 1-0, 10 men, we scramble a 1-1 at the last minute. Yeah. Brentford, we get 3. Oh, that's pretty good, that. Yeah, but we let 4 in, and we could have let 7 in. How do they do it? It's like they go in knowing, the attackers are on form today, let 4 in. No. Yeah. If we're scoring 3, let 1 in. Alex, you must be the hardest, I'm not saying this is our job, but what we're doing here, you must be the most difficult side to do this for, because how do you give an in-depth analysis of a club that makes no sense?
I don't know.
They do make no sense. They need investigating by some sort of sports science. I don't know why the fuck they show levels of 1 week non-league and 1 week that, like you said, 7. What was he, 7-1 on aggregate or something like that?
7-1.
There's no fucking explanation other than maybe a combination of a few things. The attitude of the players is absolutely horrendous, and in the Prem they're just not turning up. I don't know. Is that a factor? I do think there's a bit around. Look, sometimes in a cup run, this shit can happen and things go your way. I don't see it more as they are great in Europa. I still think they're shit. I still think we've seen signs of how bad United can be. I mean, look at that Lyon game. It was atrocious. Lyon are not a good team. Let's get this right. You know, I mean, I watched that first 25 minutes at Old Trafford in the second leg, and I said to you, Pat, these are shit. These are awful. They went on to score how many goals in that match? You know what I mean?
From 2-2 with 10 men, Lyon scored 2 goals and went 4-2 up.
So
it's unthinkable shit happens. But I do think, to your point, there is, in the Europa, things have happened for us. I'm not saying we've been lucky, but I just think that things have gone our way in instances.
Of course,
I fucking hope they continue, by the way. But in the Prem, it's like a clean slate every weekend, and you just get twatted. And that's the thing. I do think that it's weird. Is it physicality? Obviously we're not the most physical team, but like you said, Real Sociedad are better than Southampton. I'm 100% sure of that. Southampton came to Old Trafford and dicked us for an hour.
Yeah,
they're the worst team in Prem history. How do you then... Bilbao are better than... Bilbao, okay, they had their best player missing last night, but Bilbao are 4th in La Liga. They've got the best defence in La Liga. They've got a better defence than Atletico.
Yeah.
And we just pumped them 7-1 on aggregate. And we've scored... We're averaging a goal a game, give or take, in the
You
Prem.
would honestly need to speak to the players that are on the pitch and ask them what's going on, and ask them why this is happening, because they must have an inkling. They must know why we can perform at a certain level in Europa, or why we can't in the Prem.
Like at Sunday League, and I know teams have this as well. Like they have WhatsApp groups for the team.
Yeah.
Are they just after the Europa League? Are they just after the Europa League putting in there? How did we do this tonight? Like at Sunday League, I remember once, like I was playing for Horwich and we beat a team that was second, and we were warming up like we're going to lose heavily, right? We somehow won 4-3, and after the game, we were just putting laughing emojis in the group. It was just unthinkable that we even got a result, right? And is this what they're like last night? Like fucking, they sat there at home, like when they get home last night, like what have we just done? Like.
Well, Alex, they know that. Like, no, actually, no, because mate, you only need to look at United's celebrations when they're fucking 4-2 down and they're doing the daft fucking and all this shit. So, like, these have a terrible ego somehow. I don't know where it's come from, because
I'll be doing this in the final, checking for my pulse.
Well, I tell you what, if you and Matt are sat either side of me, I'll be checking both. I'll have you both strapped up to an ECG. Yeah. Jesus Christ.
He's already worked up. I mean, that's the thing. Look, United won an FA Cup not even a year ago. Tottenham haven't won anything since 2008, and that was a League Cup. And they've had a pretty good spell under Poch, and they still didn't win shit. So
this is a big factor.
Winning trophies is what footy is about, and you can't, like, nobody... Right, people will remember United winning the Europa League. They won't remember United coming 15th. And that's the point that I think, look, it's been awful. I don't think it's been acceptable, obviously. However, winning a trophy is great. You can't twist it. Like, look at Newcastle. We did an episode on it. Amazing, in it. And obviously you guys, you've got the FA Cup against Palace. It's not like the Champions League against Paris, but you can end the season on a mega high. And obviously you won it 2 years ago. We won it a year ago. It's great. Great day out for everyone. The curtain comes down on the season. You lift the trophy. Everyone goes into the summer happy.
Yeah. No, it definitely is. Just a question for you, Alex. I know we're going to do a proper preview on this match in itself. We'll do a separate one. Maybe get your mate on as well, Spurs fan.
But, he's definitely coming on, yeah.
So, honest answer I want from you. Yeah. Does the best Tottenham better the best Man United on the day in the final? Forget like form or any of the bollocks. Does the best of the best beat your best.
Right. So I think United are going to win because of the occasion and because it's a final and it's a final in Europe, right?
Yeah.
Player for player, Tottenham are better than Man United.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
I don't understand.
No.
Christian, look, I can't wait to ask this question to Matt. I
Mm.
think, do you remember when they were top of the league after the first 10 games last season?
Yeah.
And then they were playing Chelsea at home and they went 1-0 up and they were battering them. And then in 10 minutes, Van der Ven ripped his hamstring, Romero got a straight red, and Maddison got an ankle injury. I just don't think somehow they've ever recovered from that game. And I know it makes no sense because those players are back. They've I know they've had injuries again this year. I don't know what has happened to that Ange team because 10 games in last year, they won 8, didn't they? Did they win the 8 out of the first 10?
Yeah, everyone was saying could they win the league?
I'm not saying Matt's got the answer for us, but he is a Spurs fan. I'm just interested to think, do Spurs fans look back at that game when Romero just decided to did he twat into Caicedo for no reason? And Van der Ven tore his hammy. So I don't know, but player for player, look, I mean, we've got Diallo is the only guy you could say is close, and they've got Kulusevski, who's probably just a little bit better than Ahmad. Although he's gone quiet, hasn't he? Patrick said that last night. Has he gone quiet, Kulusevski?
I've not heard much about him, in terms of it's so I mean it would lean to the
Solanke better than Højlund. The back two are better than ours. Like Van der Ven and Romero, obviously very good. Romero's won a World Cup and was one of the best centre backs of the tournament. Vicario is a reasonable goalkeeper. We've got a fucking car park attendant in net with gloves. So this is the thing. So obviously, I think player for player, Tottenham are better. I'm hoping that we have got some experience in that tunnel, and Casemiro is looking there, and Casemiro's eating them up mentally in the tunnel. That's what I'm hoping. And I look at, say, what a Mourinho would do. Mourinho would have them beat before kickoff. I think I want to see a bit from Amorim. I want to see some personality coming in. I want to see
if he was managing them.
yeah. I want to see a bit of mind games. Like, do you remember Chiellini? You mentioned it in the Juve interview when Juventus came back and beat Spurs.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's the history of the Tottenham. I want Amorim to be pouring it on and getting in their heads and saying, look, Spurs don't win shit. Why do we need to be nice? Let's be honest, if we're nice to Tottenham and make it easy for them, they'll beat us.
Alex, you got to play with the cards you dealt, and at the end of the day, I agree with you, by the way. I do think that is your best method of attack. I think, player for player, if their best performance comes out the hat, and so does yours, I do think they will win. However, I really do worry for. So here's what my opinion on it is: we will do a proper one, like I say, close to the time, and maybe I could be swayed by certain things that could happen in between. But I think Tottenham should get over the line. Maybe that's my City hat. I don't know, but I just think player wise, I can't understand. I've watched a lot of you this year, and I think why on earth could they not beat you? Why on earth should they not win that match? But at the same time, what I will say, as a contrary to that, is that even at 2-0, if you get one, I think you'll win. This is where my problem is with this game with Tottenham. I don't know where I would honestly sit, or say your mate. It'd be interesting to ask him this question. When could you relax? And I reckon he would only say when that whistle's blown and if we have lifted it. Because I think 2-0, 10 minutes to 2-0, 84th minute, a corner, header goes in. I think every Tottenham fan in the ground, every Tottenham player, the manager will all think, shit, we're going to lose this. That is where I really do worry for Spurs in that match. And I think, don't make a mistake of how much that fucking weighs.
You bang on,
that is a lot.
I totally agree with you. They're wearing... It's pressure. I mean, look, Christian, they are 16th. They are technically below us in the Prem, but they have had a shit ton of injuries. They've had no defence for the whole season, so there is an asterisk, but still, they are 16th in the league. However, Tottenham have got the worst Man United team for a long time in a final in the Europa League. This is their opportunity. But at the same time, I'm also looking at this as look, I'm glad it's Tottenham and not Bilbao. I know we've just stuffed them, but if Bilbao had their front three available,
and a one-off, of course,
Nico and Sanche, I would be like, Bilbao will beat us here. Plus, it's at their own ground.
Yeah.
But I know we've just stuffed them 7-1, but it's been a weird tournament.
Yeah.
I wouldn't rule out pens, to be honest. But yeah, mate, look, it's crazy, and the goal scoring is just wild.
If it goes to pens, that I really don't know what would happen, because I'd just say to Tottenham players, right, don't you dare put it over the bar, because if you put it on target, Onana will make sure he does the rest.
Yeah.
Fuck me. Can I not be putting it over the fucking bar?
Can I just book Maddison in now for a miss?
Oh no, yeah. It's weird with Maddison, because I used to really like him, but I just don't know what as well. And he doesn't really repay me, because every time he plays City, he actually is fucking good.
He is injured, isn't he? He apparently injured, isn't he? So he might not play. I don't know what Son's doing, but again, he's tailed off, hasn't he?
Yeah,
I think Bergval's missing, who's been playing. I don't know what Spurs are doing. I don't even know their team.
You've reeled off quite a few there, then.
This is why we need Matt on the pod, because I don't even know who they play anymore. What is their team? Because at one point it was Bissouma and 5 forwards. Now it's apparently he's reined it in.
Don't he hate Bissouma as well, Ange?
Yeah, they had another scrap, didn't they?
Oh, God. It's just chaos. And Tottenham are well funny. Like, Ange is so fitting to be the Spurs manager.
Mate, Tottenham have scored 63 league goals this year. And the 16th.
No, it's actually not that bad.
What do you mean not that bad? Christian, they've got the 6th best attack in the league.
Is that what it is? Is that where it falls? Fucking hell.
Sorry, 5th. Fifth.
So, well, I'm guessing the defence is just above Southampton then.
Christian, Arsenal have scored 64 goals. City have scored 67. Spurs have scored 63.
That's mental. That is insane. God, I did not know that. Frick me. I mean, I didn't know we were that far down that list. Christ, I remember when we used to book in the goals over 100, bloody just after January.
Yeah.
It used to be a thing for us. We were nuts.
But they've let 57 in.
Yeah, it's just insane that.
Brilliant. I can't wait, mate. It's going to be class. I can't make sense of this team. I have no idea why they've scored 35 goals in 14 Europa League games, but in 35 Prem games, they've only scored 42. It makes no sense.
No, it doesn't.
And look, God knows what's going on. United are getting players back, though, Christian. I'm feeling a bit better. Luke Shaw, look... Yeah. He's much maligned, and he has got this history of turning up fit when there's a final. But he is one of our best defenders. Simple as that. And
look, Ahmad back as well is huge.
Ahmad was brilliant last night. Shout out Ahmad, yeah.
I think the thing is when you do look
Christian,
around,
we've got a bench.
Yeah, but you make a point. My biggest concern would be for a Tottenham fan, if you're looking at that squad. Yeah. Who do you really go to? I know, like you said, they've got, is it one World Cup winner in there? So you've got him.
Christian Romero. He's captain, isn't he? Which is right.
So, yeah, you've got that. So I suppose you've got him. I'm more talking about the spine of your squad. Other than him, who are you looking at in these situations? Whereas United, even your shitters have beat one of the best City teams in recent times. Yes, it was on the slide, but it still had some very big names in that City team, and you got over the line in an FA Cup final. So
you can take that experience. I mean, I loved what you said before about if Spurs are 2-0 up and they let one in, everybody will think United are going to go on and win it. I will flip that. The same will happen if United concede and it goes to 2-1. Weirdly, in the Europa League, United
but you'll go 3-2 down. Then you'll equalise again and win 4-3 off Maguire's arse in the 119th minute or something. So,
no, you're right, mate.
Whereas Spurs will genuinely lose and just start crying.
It's funny, I was talking to Patrick last night. I was like, how many watch-alongs have we done with you? And he went 3. And I went, what? It must be more than that. And it was funny because I was like, well, the Lyon game felt like 3 games, a 2-0 win, a 4-0 loss, and then a 3-0 win for United again. I mean,
I heard that when he said 3. I was like, that can't be right. It feels like we spent a lot more watch time hours with him. But
I tell you what, some players in the Europa League have been brilliant. Weirdly, and they've not been good in the Prem. Yoro has been one of the best defenders in the whole tournament. Every single tie. Casemiro's probably been the best centre mid in the tournament. This is not like a joke. I've not watched everyone, but. We've been coming up against good teams, and Casemiro's been fucking dominating.
Casemiro, fair play to him. I actually saw a picture of his transformation, and he was a fucking state. Don't get me wrong, he shouldn't have been in the mess he was in. That state, the picture on the left, he looked like he serves kebabs on a Saturday night. But then he looks shredded now. He's got himself fit. Amarim's give him his flowers, and he said, look, I'll give you a chance to get back in the team. He's proved me wrong that he could do it, and fair play. So I like that from Amorim as well, that he's not just... Sometimes managers can be a bit...
Yeah.
I've made my decision, that's final. Pep is a little bit like that, to be fair.
It's been good growth on it from Amorim. He's not changing the system, we know that, but the tweak to bringing Casemiro into a position and having, obviously, Ugarte with him and not Mainu has been massive as well. So we'll do the team sheet because I think there's some big decisions to make for Amorim. Like I said, we have got a bench now. Everybody's coming fit. Typical, but that's the way it goes sometimes. We do need a bench. Like you said, last night the bench was key. Those 3 subs changed the tide. Go and look at mine and Patrick's faces around the 55th minute from last night. It was not good. We were stressed. We were stressed to hell. Even Patrick was like, get Luke Shaw on, and he would fucking pull the shotgun on his head. He hates Luke Shaw that much. So that's where we were at. But no, it was great fun last night, and we're going to definitely be back. Is the FA Cup first, Christian?
It's weirdly before the end of the season, is it? Is it May the 17th?
The FA Cup's on the Saturday, a week tomorrow, and then the Europa League's on the Wednesday. So we've got finals. We've got the FA Cup on the Saturday and the Europa League on the Wednesday, and I don't know how.
It's good for you because I actually like Palace. And you do as well a little bit, so you could definitely sit there in a Palace top. I'm not getting a top.
I'll be singing Palace songs.
So I'll bring me out.
Palace. Oh, Palace.
Oh, Palace. I'm going to be after there doing when the Spurs.
You love that
out.
That Believe tifo behind you on the stream that they did.
There is to do. Yeah, just fucking do it. Do it. I'm not sitting there with this smug idiot laughing again because they somehow have cobbled another Europa League.
Yeah. 3 trophies in 3 years if we win this. The joke is though, we'll end up playing PSG in the Super Cup if we fucking win it.
Oh my God. Oh, Alex, that'd be a demolition derby, that. Fuck me.
I tell you. That really will push Casemiro.
Seriously, if you get in that situation where you have to do that, Amorim should just say, we've had food poisoning breakout, we can't go. There's no way.
The whole team plays injured at fucking kickoff.
that game could not take place. Fucking hell.
That's what a guy I played with once. It went to a shootout Sunday League. He took his boots off because we only had 11 players, and he was like, "I'm injured. I can't take one."
Yeah.
Shout out Jay Patel, man.
The problem is, if Tottenham and you go to pens, I feel like the whole fucking squad could potentially do that.
Yeah. James Maddison will be pissing his pants all the way up to that walk. I don't know why, because he's got an idiot in net facing him. I think anybody could score past Onana.
If you pick your corner, you should score.
I wonder if it goes to pens and Amorim does a Van Gaal and subs Bayern in for Onana.
Oh, I'd definitely do that, because Bayern did actually get you through a shootout as well.
Didn't he? Yeah. And Onana stands on the other side of the net and points to where he wants Haaland to shoot it. So
God, that is just... Have you seen when Haaland scored it and he's just like... He's like,
really?
This guy thinks he's got aura. I just think he's a twat.
He is a twat. You're right. He is a fucking twat.
It was just pure confusion. But anyway,
he did nothing wrong last night. And even in the player ratings, we were like, shit.
That's just trauma, mate. He's not getting anything for PTSD reasons.
We've got a lot of previewing to do. And I can't wait. We're going to do it. We might get we'll get Pat on. We'll get my mate on. I want to get some predicted teams. I want to know
if we can find a Palace. We'll get a Palace fan on. If there's any out there, jump on.
Yeah, man. Is there a Palace fan? Yeah. Yeah. I'll just put a Palace shirt on and just fucking do it. I'm not bothered.
Just run with it anyway.
You do it. Yeah. I'm going to get on Vinted now and find a Palace top.
No, but definitely. Look,
Jordan Ayew on the back. Or Andre, is it Andre Ayew?
Oh, God, I don't know.
My initials Ayew.
Yeah, right. It'll be a mad one, because there's never been a final where 2 more misfit teams have somehow reached it. It really is. How do you predict it? I mean, the betting, I'd love to know the betting markets on that game, because what on earth? Who's the favourites?
United. I saw it today. United are 4-5. Spurs are 11-10. So it's as close to a toss of a coin as a bookie market. And it's probably about right, isn't it? The bookies are leaning United on the European final or a shit.
Yeah.
But then the bookies are also like, oh, but Tottenham are better.
yeah.
But then Tottenham are 16th. It's like, what the mate? I don't know. I don't even know how we're going to preview this. We need multiple people on here to help us go
definitely.
through it. And
we need all the help we can get because we need to make some sense of it. What date is the final? Europa.
It's a week on Wednesday, so is that 21st? 21st
Wednesday. Oh God, I'm going to need to put Thursday off or something.
21st, yeah, and your FA Cup final 17th, so a week tomorrow. So
right,
yeah, like 11 days for Europa. You're a week away from the Palace showdown, where Adam Wharton, player of the tournament in Liam Roberts' eyes, is going to run amok.
Well, Pep will probably go and fucking pay 100 million for him, so.
200 million.
Then we'll end up with Wharton and Gibbs next year, so that'll be good.
200 million mid-table swoop. Right.
Yeah.
A good place to end it.
Yeah, man.
Right, what a fucking week we've got coming up, I tell you. This time next week.
Any new viewers, we appreciate like, subscribe. If you want to jump on, it's going to be, you've come to at the right time. It's going to be a chaotic end of the season. Yeah. We're going to both be going through some trauma because the way our teams have played this year, it ain't going to be straight sailing for either one of us, I don't think.
Join us for Hell in a Cell in the Europa League final, please. And obviously, City have got massive pressure to see the job through there as well against Palace, who are reasonably dangerous. So, mate, can't wait. Honestly, it's going to be class.
Watch Ange put Amorim through the fucking table.
Yeah, I don't think so. Ange will be like Mankind with a sock on his hand. In fucking Rikishi in Spurs top.
I love it. Brilliant.
Okay, thanks a lot, mate. We'll see you on the coming days, weeks for more pods, more watch-alongs, more hell, really.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Hopefully for my mate, Matt. See you later, Christian. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate it, guys. Bye-bye.